Hi y'all, my name is Caitlin Jackson or Laura Jackson, and I want to talk about my personal philosophy in this Pecha Kucha, Japanese for chit chat. And the first thing I want to talk about is focusing on the differences of individuals and how you can use that as a strength as a leader. Um, Being able to see their different perspectives and see their different viewpoints in life that come from living in a different country, from their culture, from their geography. There's so many things that shape the human brain and our opinions and the way that we deal with things. And that's all things that you can use as strength as a leader if you just know how to use them and how to interact with them. Just with different time zones and everything, it can be helpful to have people in different time zones because you're still throughout the day not losing any time, but it's also hard. Like we saw in the documentary in class between the Chinese and the American warehouse and everything, that communication problems exist not only because of time but because of cultural differences and everything. And it's important for a leader to be aware of those. Those situations could have been handled a lot smoother if they were aware of each other's culture and of each other's thought processes, rather than trying to force one on top of the other in either regard. Um, and with communication, um, like we talked about in class, that the class could have gone a lot smoother, or the transition could have gone a lot smoother if if they had had some training, if they had talked about the cultural differences and had actually communicated these. Another thing that's really important to my own personal philosophy is listening. I find that listening to others is such an important part of being a leader and being aware of your surroundings, being observant of the people that you work with, and knowing what makes them comfortable and uncomfortable. That way, you can help them not only step out of their box, but be more efficient in the workplace or in, whatever it may be. Knowing what people respond well to can always be helpful. And you can learn often about how people respond to you and to how the best to help them by just listening to them, by being observant and watching and listening to how they react to things and how they talk about things. So just listening and being aware. Another thing that I find very important is humility. I found this and it was just so perfect. Be like the bamboo. The higher you grow, the deeper you bow. I'm not sure if this is an actual Chinese proverb or anything, but I like the sentiment nonetheless, knowing that you always need to look at, you know, the people, the quote unquote little people, or the people below you in a sense, and not see them as below you, but see them as an equal at all times. You know, because you got there for a reason. And this is actually something that I learned from, something that really stuck with me was from this event. This is a Japanese tea ceremony and everything that I was actually able to be a part of. I expanded on it a little bit more in my professional guide, but this really cemented the idea of humility and being humble. Now, being humble does not mean that, you have to have no self worth, or self confidence and everything. Like this picture shows, I'm not good enough. I must be perfect. Nobody loves me. Those don't equal each other. You can still have high self confidence and still be humble. Um, and I feel like self confidence is so important for a leader because you need to be self assured. This is something that I'm personally working on, to be more self assured of myself, self assured, and be more aware of, like, confident in my actions. Being able to speak confidently and fluently, and be able to, communicate my ideas without second guessing myself, and making sure that, even though I'm listening and and I want to listen to the people who, you know, work with me or work below me, that doesn't mean that I can't listen to myself and that I can't be sure of my own ideals and my thoughts. It's always good to listen to other people, but if you're not self-assured in your own mind, it just becomes chaos. And so having that self-confidence is something super important. This is like what we read about in Timeless Leadership, um, and how being not having self-confidence can lead to fear, false evidence appearing real, um, and having that chaotic mind that doesn't actually help you be a leader. It just helps you be unsure in every step. So you need to have this certainty with each step that you take, and keep your mind centered and who you are, and be aware of your thought process. We went over this, be the big I, not the little I, because there is no two parts of you. It is always you. Um, in every sense of the word, you are yourself, and not letting yourself be divided. Um, and that's kind of just how I view leadership. Thank you.